Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, and thank you for allowing us to come into your viewing environment. We are here with you every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, broadcasting live from the FijiWater.com sponsored studio, where you can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships. Whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind, God is concerned about that which concerns you. And that is the reason that we are here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, which is brought to you daily by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the blue cap. Fiji water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery. And you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just ordinary water. This is Earth's finest water at FijiWater.com. And for those of you who continue giving on the Give segment of our app at New Life-Delaware, and those of you that have made a weekly or monthly commitment to support the broadcast by giving on the contribution pages of our websites at NewLifeMinistriesInternational.com and NewLifeInternationalCDC.com. We thank you for your continued support and for your commitment as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here for you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. And I want to remind all of our listeners and viewers, pardon me, that we are Facebook Live, we're YouTube Live, we're RadioFreeNetwork.com Live. If you go to RadioFreeNetwork.com, click on radio, the drop box will appear. Click on the New Life link and every broadcast will be available to you. And also, while you are there, click on the link for WKAP, Faith Empowerment Radio, our 24-hour internet radio station where we play music 24 hours a day that will encourage you, empower you, and inspire you to become the best version of yourselves that we can possibly become. You can reach us at WKAPfaith.com is our website, and we are there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, broadcasting live from the FijiWater.com sponsored studio. So tune in. You don't want to miss this. We want you to stay connected with us throughout the week. And we are really excited about all that is happening right now during this particular season. As you know, we are about to have our annual Family and Friends Day on Sunday, September the 11th at New Life Christian Center, 400 Hillcrest Avenue in Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. So we invite everyone to invite everyone. Immediately following service, we have an annual barbecue that is free for everyone. We invite you to come and just be among the family and friends at New Life Christian Center, 400 Hillcrest Avenue, Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. Service begins at 10 a.m. I promise if you come, you will experience a better quality of life. And we will have a guest with us for praise and worship on that Sunday. The Choir School of Delaware will be with us for praise and worship at 10 a.m. at New Life Christian Center, 400 Hillcrest Avenue, Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that some really big things have happened in the life of your husband this year, and you said, however, you feel that he is struggling with the success and you do not know how to help him. So, you know, what's really interesting, and I'm going to go through a couple of things because as I was prayerful about this communication, first of all, to God be the glory and congratulations to your husband and to your family, because it's been a blessing to your family. We have to talk about expectations. The reason he's struggling, pardon me, pardon me, you know we're live here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, and I suffer from allergies, and so, as you may know, I'm having some drainage this morning, so I'm going to drink some of Earth's finest water and ask you all to bear with me for a moment, because what your husband is dealing with is expectations. You know, he did not expect to have the success that he's having. He expected to work every day and to have some benefits, but he didn't expect the success of the magnitude that he's had. One of the problems is we have to have greater expectations. We have to, great expectations is part of our faith. We have to have faith that God, pardon me, will exceed abundantly above all we can ask or think. So that's the first thing. Now, what does that really mean? So, there's a passage in Ephesians where Paul says that God is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we can ask or think according to the power of God that works in us. And in order for us to have the power of God, we have to have faith in God, and then we have to have faith through God, knowing that it's not about what we do, it's about what God does through us. And so your husband has had some really big things happen, and that's a blessing to your husband for the work that he's put in. He's seen the fruits of his labor. It's a blessing to your family because your family's been blessed because of this. And now he's struggling with it. And what he's really struggling with is that he has to have, the reason he's struggling with the success is because he has to have a greater expectation of success. So that means he has to increase his faith. He has to believe that God is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we can ask or think. And so what that means for us is this: whatever we can think about doing, and whatever we can ask God for, and whatever we can really trust God for, we have to know that when we increase our faith, God will exceed our own expectations. He'll exceed what we're able to accomplish on our own, but God is able to accomplish so much more. So we have to understand that and believe that because God knows the plans that he has for us, and he knows what he desires for us, he knows what he wants for our lives, and it's of good and not of evil, we have to understand the importance of God doing in us exactly what he desires to do. And the reason I'm saying all of that is because your husband has done a great job of getting up every day, putting his best foot forward, going and working to try to maximize his opportunities. And that was his expectation. If I put in the work, I'm going to get some results. The blessings of God will exceed our results. And what I mean by that is, if you do good work, good things are going to happen. But you have to know that if you do good work, God will exceed the good things that will happen. And so now he's struggling with the success. You don't know how to help him. You don't have to help him. What you can help him do is expand his expectations. See, I'm going to go one step further than this. It's one thing to have expectations. It's another thing to have great expectations. And great expectations means that you get outside of yourself. that you know that you're going to put in the work, but what God is going to do is so much greater than what we're capable of doing on our own, but not greater than what we're capable of accomplishing with God working through us. So it's all about the expectations. Expectations are all about faith. See, when you have faith, you put in the work. When you have great expectations, you begin to speak those great expectations. And the Bible says this: speak those things that be not as if they already exist. Speak those things that be not as if they're already manifested. And then I'm going to take you one step further in how do you increase your faith? You walk in those things, in your belief of what hasn't already been manifested. You begin walking in them because that's your expectation. Your expectation is that God's going to manifest it. So I have to walk in it, and I have to do whatever's necessary to take that next step, no matter how much I might not feel comfortable taking that next step. For those of you that have been with us since the inception of the broadcast, you've heard me say this many times over the years. You have to learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Sometimes when we're walking in things that don't already exist, we feel uncomfortable because we've spoken it into the atmosphere, and other people have heard us speak it, and they say, why would you do that? You're not able to do that. You're not capable of doing that. Well, no, I'm not. But if it's a revelation from God, I know He is. And He's a rewarder of those that diligently seek His will. He's a rewarder of those that diligently seek Him and His will. So we have to believe that every step we're taking, even though it may not feel comfortable. So I'm going to use a modern analogy. So I went out on Saturday and I did my normal activity. I went out and ran 3.81 miles. And then I did my squats, I did my push-ups, I did the things that I normally would do. And then a couple of the young men in the church challenged me more or less to play basketball. I haven't played basketball since the last time we played with the young men from the Achievers Academy. That was a few years ago. Haven't played, but it's like riding a bike. You won't forget how to play. And before that, I hadn't played in a while. But I don't play basketball that often. I'm getting older now, so I'm saying this for a reason. But I went out and played with them yesterday. My Achilles was a little sore from my run, because I pushed myself a little bit on Saturday. Actually, I pushed myself quite a bit on Saturday. But I got out and played yesterday, and today, my Achilles is no sore than it was on Saturday, on Sunday, from running on Saturday. Every step that I was taking yesterday wasn't necessarily comfortable because it was sore. My Achilles was sore, and my knees a little bit sore from running on Saturday. So every step I took wasn't necessarily the most comfortable step. But we won our games. And what I'm saying is that in the end, because you put in the work, now watch this, we won the games, it was fun, so they challenged their father and myself, and so we all got out and played some ball yesterday. And every step wasn't necessarily the most comfortable step, but it felt good doing something I hadn't done in a while so that my body could get outside of my body by pushing myself. Now, that was good exercise. It was fun yesterday. But the benefit of that exceeds beyond that. And it exceeds beyond that because now my body was challenged to do something I haven't done in a while. It was challenged to do something a little different. And I could feel it this morning when I was working out because I pushed myself over the weekend to do something that I don't normally do. It's not part of my normal regimen, but it was a good time. And now my expectation is I'm going to get a greater benefit, greater expectation, greater benefit from what I did yesterday. So I have to say that every step your husband's going to take moving forward, he's going to have a greater expectation. And you can help him with. You don't have to help him get through the struggle of this, the thought process. What you can do is just discuss with him having greater expectations as you continue to move forward in life. Because God is showing himself and showing what he wants to do in the life of your husband. This segment of the broadcast has been brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you're not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will move you into our queue so that you may become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill at T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you have found that my comments regarding working hard and the work that it takes to become successful are true. So I'm just reading through this. Now that you are moving in the right direction, you want to know, how do you manage the success? So I've been getting a lot of communications about people experiencing success, and you've been consistent viewers of the broadcast. So, I'm thankful that information we're sharing with you, God guiding your steps is really showing itself. You're seeing the success. You're seeing the fruits of your labor. And I'm a firm believer. You hear me talk about this all the time, and you said this in your communication regarding the work it takes to become successful. So listen, success does not happen by accident. That's first and foremost. And secondly, there are no shortcuts to success. So you get that. But you want to know, how do you manage the success? So this is real important. You manage the success by doing the right thing every single day. Making an effort to do the right thing every single day. Let me explain to you what that really means. In our church, we talk about righteousness, and what that implies is just that. It's about making a conscious decision. I know, a lot of churches do a lot of different things with, charging the emotions and, making people feel that they're holier than thou and all of that. That's not what we're about. We're about following the instructions in the handbook of the Holy Bible. So here's what that means. Righteousness, contrary to popular belief, doesn't mean holier than thou. It doesn't mean I'm better than anyone else. What it means is that every single day, I'm going to wake up with the thought of trying to do the right thing throughout the entire day. That requires me to have the right attitude. It requires us to try to perform the best behavior. It requires commitment. It requires diligence. It requires a spirit of excellence. It requires faith of greater expectations. It requires being grateful for what God has done. It requires us to develop the right habits. It requires us to expand our intelligence and to really find ways to learn every day. It requires us to expand in knowledge. There's a lot of things required to do the right thing every day. Here's the truth of the matter. Once you understand that, you have to manage the success with discipline. And so you've all heard me talk about how to manage each segment of your day. And if we do that consistently every day, see, this is something that really has, I'll tell you, 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, has required me to examine some things that even my grandfather told me when I was a young boy. Couldn't have been, I said this before, I said, might have been 10, could have been no more than 12, could have been 12 to 14 because my grandfather deceased when I was a teenager. So I know it couldn't have been any later than that. But one of the keys to success, he told me, was consistency. He also said longevity. If you can do anything consistently and for a long period of time, that would be two of the keys to success. So I got it. You got to manage your success by being consistent about doing the right thing every day. Just about, focusing on having the character of God, the integrity of God, just focusing on doing the right thing throughout the day, not just, okay, I'm gonna wake up this morning and I'm going to make an effort to do the right thing, but by noon, I'm gonna decide, you know what, that was for the first half of the day, the rest of the day I'm gonna do what I want. You can't do that and manage your success, because at some point in time, your success is gonna be disrupted. So how do we manage our success? We manage our success by, and you're all gonna hear me talk about this more moving forward, because I'm gonna be doing something that's really going to, I believe, bless and help so many other people. You've got to really go from A to Z. And so I will share with everyone, for 26 weeks one year, I went through the entire alphabet because God had revealed to me, spoke to me and revealed to me that too many people were getting stuck on trying to get from point A to point B. Now think about that for a moment. See, we come up with a lot of things because they sound catchy, but there's a whole alphabet. So for 26 weeks, I spent on every letter of the alphabet really preaching a series on the entire alphabet to make certain that we learned how to get from point A to point Z. And that's how you're going to manage your success. And that's with the right attitude. That's with the right behavior. It's with commitment. It's with dedication and diligence and a spirit of excellence. So all of these things are going to help you manage your success. And then one simple form of that is get yourself an agenda book. I know we do a lot of things electronically, but you're going to need an agenda book, because when you write things down, listen, my wife and I always have a conversation about the fact that if it's not on the calendar, it doesn't exist. And if you don't write it down, it will not happen. So I'm a pen and paper guy. I mean, I do a lot of things electronically, obviously, before you today. But I do a lot of writing with pen and paper. And the reason is because I understand that if I write it down, I take mental ownership of it. If you write it down, you're going to take mental ownership of it, because psychologically, when we write things out, we are in the process of absorbing it and taking possession of it mentally. So you're going to have to get back to the basics of writing things out in your agenda book, managing what you write. Whatever you write down as tasks that need to be accomplished, that's one of the ways of managing your success. Success is not easy to manage. It requires work. And the reason is because when you become successful, it requires you twice as much work to maintain or manage that success. So it's going to be work, but you can manage this. You can manage your success, and you can, of course, continue to build on your success. You maximize your success. That's a key component. It's not just becoming successful, it's maximizing our success. It's not resting on our laurels, it's continuing to move forward and maximize the success. This segment of the broadcast has been brought to you by PorscheAmerica.com. If you are in the market for a new vehicle, a high-performance vehicle, one of the finest high-performance vehicles ever manufactured, go to PorscheAmerica.com. You will have the opportunity to see what inventory is available through Porsche. You will be able to find a dealership in your local area. You will, wherever you are, you'll be able to find a dealership that will help you to design the Porsche that is of interest of you to own. And if you're in our area, you can go to PorscheofDelaware.com, PorscheDelaware.com. One of our sponsors of our annual golf tournament, our annual Achievers Golf Tournament, they have every type of Porsche you could possibly imagine at PorscheofDelaware.com, PorscheDelaware.com, I should say. If you're in the market for a high performance, one of the finest high performance vehicles ever manufactured, stop in at Porsche of Delaware. Ask to speak to Mike Didio, General Manager of Porsche Delaware. He will make certain that you get taken care of. And if you already own a Porsche, it is one of the finest vehicles that we have ever owned, and we've owned a lot of them. But it is one of the finest vehicles. And if you own one and you are in need of service, contact PorscheDelaware.com. Ask to speak to Mike Adams. They will schedule an appointment, pick up your vehicle at your home or office, and drop off a loaner to you while your vehicle is being serviced, and return your vehicle to you at your home or office when your service is completed. PorscheDelaware.com. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you and your friends have been eating and drinking way too much. You said mostly drinking. And it has been one night after another. You said 3 to 4 times a week, 3 or 4 nights a week. You want to know what can you do to stop this pattern. So the answer to that is stop. And the reason is because you all are dealing with some pent-up frustrations of being the whole pandemic fatigue, the whole COVID fatigue, not being able to go where you want to go when you want to go, having the social distance. Listen, you just got to stop. That's the simple answer to this, is just decide that you're only going to go out with your friends one day a week, probably on the weekend, either Saturday, or you're going to go out for Sunday brunch, preferably Sunday brunch. That'll eliminate some of the drinking. That will stop the process, stop the madness, so you can get back on track and do what you need to do to maximize your success and experience the fullness of God. We're drinking, we're pouring poison into our body. We've got to make certain that we give the Holy Spirit a place to dwell. This is the temple of God. We don't want to destroy that temple. Just get refocused and stop the madness, and everything will be just fine. Today's Daily Divine Direction broadcast 3D has been brought to you by Fiji Water. A taste of paradise will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. May God bless you.